Hi everybody, welcome back to another weekly craft video. My name is Tori and I'm your Makerspace librarian. I'm here in the Makerspace at the Whitewater Public Library and I'm going to show you our craft for this week. We are going to be doing paint pouring. This is a craft that's great for people of all ages, but it's especially good for kids because we are going to be using non-toxic washable tempera paint. Normally you would use acrylic paint to do paint pouring, but we are going to mix our paint with glue and some water, and that's going to help the colors stay separated and not bleed together too much. There are lots of different techniques that you can try when paint pouring. I'm going to show you the techniques that I use to get these two different paintings. I think they turned out really cool. Let's get started. Alrighty everybody, let's take a look at what we are going to get in our craft kit this week. We are going to get 4 different colors of tempera paint. Usually you use acrylic paint for paint pouring, but this week we are going to use tempera paint to make the cleanup a little bit easier, and we're going to mix it with some glue. These are 4 separate containers of glue that you're going to get, and some water to make the paint easier to pour over the canvas. We're going to get a canvas here, some craft sticks to help mix our paint mixtures together, and some plastic cups. I have here a pitcher of water that I'm going to use to thin my paints so that I can pour them easily over the canvas. And then you're going to want to get together whatever you need to keep yourself and your surface clean. I'm going to be using this box to kind of contain my paint and keep my surface clean. You might want to grab some wipes, some paper towels, whatever you need to keep the mess to a minimum. So here I have put on my library apron. It says be creative at your library. So I'm ready to paint. You're going to get 8 small cups and 1 larger cup. Set aside the larger cup. This is the one you're going to use to combine all your paints in. So I'm going to grab 4 plastic cups. I'm going to put 1 color of paint in each cup, and I'm going to mix the paint with some glue and add just a little bit of water at a time until the paint is thin enough to pour. Of water at a time. You don't want to add too much water. I just added about a splash into this cup and it's already pretty thin. To combine all of my paints into the larger cup. You can pour all of one color in and then all of the next one and all of the next one and so on, or you can layer the paints like I'm going to do by pouring about half of one color, about half of another color, so that you have a few layers of color mixed in there. So I grabbed my cardboard box. I laid down some saran wrap, some plastic wrap over the box just so the paint doesn't soak through. I'm going to grab my other 4 small plastic cups and just set them down inside the box like that so that I can place my canvas on top of them. This is going to allow the paint to drip down the sides of the canvas, and I can also pick it up and move the paint around on the canvas just like that. Once the cup is empty, it's time to use your fingers to pick up the canvas and move the paint around in different directions until the whole canvas is covered. Once your entire canvas is covered and you're satisfied with the design, set it back on the cups so that the paint can safely drip down the sides and onto whatever surface you have for it to drip on. And you're going to want to let this dry for at least 24 hours because there's so much paint covering the canvas. It's going to take a long time for it to dry. So here is my work of art. It is still drying, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I love this part right here with all the different colors together like that. And then I really like this patch here with the orange and the blue like that. You also have the option of adding in a couple drops of dish soap. That's what I'm going to add into these colors here. The dish soap is going to create cells on your canvas, which means little dots of different colors that give your artwork a really cool effect. So for this technique, I'm going to take my cup of paint and my canvas, flip it over, and cover the top of the cup with the canvas. Now I'm going to take this whole thing and flip it all over in one fluid motion. So I really like the effect that the dish soap has on the painting. It helps it to develop these little cells or these little circle shapes that are sort of peeking through the orange. So you can see there's some blue peeking through the orange, some white. Over here we have some purple. So I really like the effect that the dish soap had on this painting. So I would recommend adding that. One of the best parts about making one of these paintings is watching it as it dries. Even though it's sitting still, the paint is moving and still dripping down the side of the canvas. So as it dries, it changes. And what you end up with in the end is going to look a little bit different from what you started off with. So make sure you check on it as it dries and watch how it changes.